Hey, if you didn't already know, I'm Finray, and I listen to a lot of Japanese music, and I'm really keen to share that with everyone else, so whether you're just getting into it, or you've been listening to the mega genre for a while now, and you just want to know a little bit more about the artists, let me throw you some recommendations. Quick disclaimer, if you couldn't already tell, I have actually no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to music critiquing, so bear with me and hope you enjoy. I'm starting off with a trio that has become my most loved band in recent memory. And I haven't seen such an underrated artist in a long time, with the most listened to song on Spotify being just shy of 600,000 listens. Massive the Fermenting Dregs is an alternative rock band formed in Kobe that has undergone many member mix-ups, yet despite that, every album they release is just so good. Its loud, energetic music keeps me coming back for more, and they have a relatively large discography compared to other artists on this list. One small problem, however, is only 2 of their 5 or so albums are actually on Spotify. Luckily, you can find the others on YouTube, and I think it still gives them money, so that's good. If you want a taste of their music, I'd highly recommend their 2018 album No New World, as it's my personal favorite and also easy to find. And if you're still hungry for more, you can explore the self-titled album and the World Is Yours album. They're both on YouTube and they're awesome. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. You know those bands where you listen to one song, get hooked, and then drop it immediately? Well, that was what Sekaiichi was for me. Case in point, Hardcore Geek, awesome song, gets me dancing almost every time. But then I just left the band with that song and moved on. But I came back and re-listened to some of the other stuff, and holy shit, is it good and criminally underrated. So anyway, keeping that in mind, I'd highly recommend their Round Table LP along with their self-titled album. Oh my god, SHISHAMO just pops off, seriously. These Kawasaki girls make great stuff with a radiant energy that I don't quite know how to describe. I guess it feels like they're always having fun when they're making their music, and then you begin bopping with them as well. This extremely talented trio has a pretty large discography as well, making it a great starting point for anyone getting into JP indie rock, as they just have so much to offer. Both their singles and their albums are really good, so you're gonna have a hell of a time no matter what you're listening to. Number Girl is a diamond in the rough that I think I found on some article ages ago, and to be honest, I really should listen to them more because it seems like they're one of those artists whose discography just keeps on giving. Even as I was recording this, I just found another sick track in CIBBICO San. Number Girl is an alt-rock band from Fukuoka that led a generation, similarly to Western bands at the time like the Pixies. They're loud, overpowering, and nowadays have less than 60,000 monthly listens on Spotify, which is really sad, honestly, because the music they put out, for lack of a better term, fucking rocks. If you want to dip your toes into this rabbit hole, I'd highly recommend their most famous album, Schoolgirl Distortional Addict, followed by the Omoide In My Head LPs. Kinoko Teikoku is quite interesting, as I just found this band as I was researching for this video, which means I'm not really familiar with them, but they classify themselves as a shoegazing dream pop band. And yes, it does have that ethereal guitar sounding in the back, but a lot of their lesser known tracks are more grounded. Especially my favorite album that I would highly recommend as a starting point, Eureka. It's honestly fire, although it does get a little tedious in the last couple of tracks. It's still amazing though.
Can you take me?
Shinnosuke describes itself as a genreless artist, and while I wouldn't necessarily agree with that statement, this talented guy isn't afraid to experiment with new sounds and styles. The rising star 20-year-old has kind of left me in a little predicament, because it's really difficult to base his kind of music off of one song or album. Luckily, his discography isn't actually that large yet, so it probably wouldn't take too long to listen to all of his work. But if you really wanted to push me, I'd say listen to Togenkyo to Taxi, Wonder, and his latest single, Midnight Routine. If you search online what the best anime soundtrack is, you'll get a variety of differing opinions, but chances are The Pillow's name will come up, and that's for very good reason. The sole artist in Gainax's smash hit Fooly Cooly, The Pillow's created a soundtrack that I've actually listened to outside of the show on a regular basis. Not only that, but during my trip to Japan, I actually got 2 CDs while I was over there. It's an amazing rock band that is just solid fun to listen to. Similarly to MOFD, their discog is limited on Spotify, but I'd highly recommend the Full On Cool Generation album, as it acts almost like a greatest hits playlist, although it is missing a few classic tracks such as Ride on Shooting Star, Brand New Love Song, and Crazy Sunshine. Nakamura Emi is the least indie rockish artist on this list by a long shot, and I could have replaced her with another more fitting of the genre, but I don't care, because holy shit, this woman is amazing. If you want any more convincing, please just listen to her award-winning song Yamabiko. You can feel the ferocity in her guitar strumming and her singing, which sounds like she's spitting fire, and all of this was just from her debut album. Emi is an incredibly talented singer-songwriter, and that shows throughout all of her pieces. And while I must admit, not all of her songs hook me as consistently as others on this list, the ones that do absolutely go off, and if there was one word to describe Nakamura, it would be flow. No Buses is a garage rock band with a completely different feeling from the stuff I usually listen to. To me, it sounds a lot more produced and clean, especially their newer tracks, which isn't a bad thing at all. And I think that's probably due to the fact that No Buses is actually a 2016 band that has a pretty heavy 2000s rock influence that's also evolving as it goes. It doesn't rock hard, but it's more something that you can jam to instead. Fun fact, No Buses is the only band on here that almost exclusively uses English lyrics, so if you don't speak that language and actually want to understand what they're saying, then this band may be for you. A good starting point I'd recommend is either jumping into a couple of their EPs like Boys Miss the Bus and Boring Thing, or you could just cut the fat and listen to their top singles on Spotify, as they're also really good solo listens. Out of everyone in this video, MITSUME is the most laid back. Their music has that vibe of just sweating in your room on a hot summer's day staring at your ceiling. And they're not exciting, and I don't think they should be. They just channel the vibe of actually just being chill, and they do that really well. I'm gonna be honest, this is one of those artists where I just listen to their top songs on Spotify. I know, I'm despicable, but putting that aside, my favorite piece from them has to be Disco. So maybe go give them a listen and explore for yourself. I'm sure there's more deep analysis I can do on their music, but as stated, I don't understand shit.